Stan and Hilda. The Ogdens. For 20 years, their antics at number 13 made them the nation's favourite double act.
Stan and Hilda were every man and every woman. They were like the working class, never-do-wells, little people who I think most of the audience were like, they identified with.
And actually, I'm sure there's a little bit of Stan and Hilda in you know, most people that you know. There's a bit of that sort of a relationship.
Well, I watched the Ogdens for an awful lot of years, and I laughed at them and cried with them. They were brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I suppose so.
Oh, I suppose so, I suppose so. It's the trouble with you, you're too damn suppository. Now get out there and insert yourself. When I first met him, I thought, well, he's a decent-looking chap, you know, this should work, because he was a big man and I was only 8 stone 4 wet through, so it looked rather good between the big man and the little woman, you know, it was a sort of handicap thing in reverse. What's this rubbish dump doing in my living room?
Oh, don't shout, love. It's supposed to loveliness of your features.
The rapport seemed to happen right away, even from the dry runs. You know, it just seemed to fit somehow.
Stan and Hilda brought a sort of quality to their roles. It was Hilda's deep affection for Stan. Even though he was a wastrel, he drank and gambled away such money as he earned, she was always struggling to make ends meet. He defeated all her romantic hopes. He would always deflate any turn towards an expression of love. But you could tell that she loved him. And in his own inarticulate way, he loved her.
Everybody thinks that the actors are exactly like the characters they're playing. And in our case, this was not true, because I was nothing like Hilda. Bernard was the same. He was a completely different character. He'd written a number of very good poems about his feelings during the war, during that time. You know, driving munitions lorries across North Africa and being bombed and all the rest of it, being shelled and all the rest of it. And they were very, very good. I remember reading them. He showed them to me once. He said, I don't show these to everybody, but you can read them. So he was a very well-read man, you know, nothing like Stan at all.
We'll talk about something else.
All right, Chuck. I like a nice talk. Yeah. I'd much rather stop here with you and have a real talk, intimate-like, a proper conversation. What are you doing?
Putting telly on.
Oh, no wonder they say it's a dying art.
It was just as well Jean and Bernard were not like their on-screen characters. They spent most of the time rowing.
The row scenes always developed. And it's like you had to orchestrate them, really, because you can't just spend a whole scene shouting at each other. It doesn't work.
I'm not touchy. Many a man will clip you around the ear hole for that crack, I'll tell him.
Oh, would they?
Yeah, and that thing, too. And don't mind the throwing the dustbins. I'll waste some money.
You arm that frock and I'll take that poker and separate your ears.
I don't care. I want my tea on that table and I want it now.
Well, you know where it is, in the kitchen. I've had mine. I'm fed up running round skivvying for you, Stanley Ogden, and I tell you this, if I have to go on that second honeymoon on my own, it's divorce, next stop. We made them come. We did it deliberately, because to take the edge off the fact that they were rowing, because they didn't row really seriously. It was a sort of flash-in-the-pan stuff most of the time.
I remember one time when Hilda was convinced Stan was having an affair, because he used to go out on his rounds and was away for a long, long time. So she followed him, and it was great just watching her skulking around. And she actually realised he was talking to an old woman who just needed a bit of company.
Oh, hello.
I mean, look at the bloke. He's not exactly God's gift to women. I don't think she had anything to worry about.
Stan wasn't the only one with antisocial habits.
I used to frighten the life out of me when we first started, because I have a habit of burping at the last minute when I'm not expecting it. And we used to be in the studio waiting to do a take on a scene. And the first time it happens, Bernard nearly shot off his feet, because the floor manager said, right, quiet studio, countdown, 5, 4, and I went, and Bernard's eyebrows shot up into his hair. And then they said, cue, and we went straight into the scene with no problems whatsoever. And Bonnie said, are you going to do that again next time? I said, well, I never know when it's going to happen, Bun. So he got quite used to it after that.